YouTube, welcome back to Denisha's World. Today we will be cooking with Denisha again. So come along with me today, guys, because I will be showing you guys how to prepare Salisbury steaks, mashed potatoes, and corn. Mashed potatoes and corn. So we're going to hop right into this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Make sure you guys comment down below any questions that you have for me, any ideas or any tips that you guys can give me as I go along and cook this meal. So come along with me and let's get started. Okay, first off we have here is our ground turkey in a big bowl. I've already took out my ground turkey and put it in the bowl. I'm going to come over and wash my hands. You guys know I like to use the handy dandy antibacterial hand soap to wash our hands. Make sure your hands are nice and clean before you begin preparing your food. Alrighty, we have that done. Now we're going to come over to our ground turkey and we're going to season it up and put in our bell peppers. As you guys can see, I have my bell pepper and onion already chopped up, pre-chopped up for you guys. And what we're going to do, we're going to go in, we're just going to dump everything inside of the bowl with the ground turkey. And we don't use ground beef often. Everything that I prepare to consider that calls for ground beef, I normally substitute with ground turkey because ground beef is very hard to digest. Your main ingredient going to be in these is going to be your black pepper. Black pepper is really what gives you the Salisbury steak taste. And you're going to need lots and lots of black pepper. Like I said, this is actually what gives you the Salisbury steak taste. I'll put a bunch of this black pepper in here. Then we're going to go in and we're going to season just with our other seasons. I'm using some oregano now. Oregano. Use some garlic powder. Nice and seasoned. Your flavor is going to come from the season as well. You don't want no bland ground turkey. Onion powder. Then we're going to use some of Johnny's seasoning salt. You can use just salt if you prefer just salt. Or you can use a seasoning salt. I'm using the Johnny's seasoning salt. Then I'm going to add a splash of Worcestershire. Comment down below if y'all know how to say this name, because I do not know how to say this name. I've never been able to. Alright, we're going to add our Worcestershire sauce. Like I said, comment down below if y'all know how to say that name, because I don't know how to say this name. You don't want too much of this because then your meat's going to be very soggy. So you just want to make sure you get enough in there. That way you can taste it. And then we're going to mix it all together. Kind of reminds me of making meatloaf. The only difference with this is we don't put eggs and stuff in this like we do meatloaf or crackers or anything. It's just the onion and the bell pepper and the Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce. Let's see, gonna get all of that mixed together well. Good and mixed together. I'm just gonna knead it. Just getting it very good and mixed. Sprinkle a little bit more Johnny seasoning in here. Some more black pepper. There that black pepper go again. Black pepper is your key ingredient when making Salisbury steaks. Alrighty. Some more black pepper in there. Mix that in. All good and mix. Okay. Now we're going to start forming our patties to make the actual steaks. Take my ring off. I'm going to form them into balls. And you're going to flatten them out like you would do a hamburger. Flatten them out. Like I said, I'm using ground turkey. This is not ground beef, so it's a little bit more stickier. But it's still going to do the job. I'm going to get them good and flattened out. It's your patty. Yep. And you're going to place it over here in your skillet. And I normally do about 4 at a time. Make our next one. You're going to want to have a nice size skillet. The bigger your skillet is, the more you can get in there. And you're going to repeat this step. And alrighty guys, we done made it over to the skillet. We're going to turn this eye on. And we're going to begin to grill these on both sides. We're going to get them nice and brown. Alrighty, we're letting them fry on both sides. Once they're good and brown and grilled on both sides, we're going to transfer them to a plate. Once they're transferred to the plate, you're going to continue the same technique, grilling both sides of your Salisbury steaks on both sides until they're about a brown. And you'll see the lines. As you guys can see, I'm using the skillet with the lines on it. So once it's done grilling on both sides, we're going to transfer them to a plate and then continue the same method throughout the rest of your meat until it's all done. And once I get them all grilled, I'll be back to show you guys what I do next after that. So yeah, they're just frying. While these are frying, I'm actually going to get my other sides going. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to grab my big pot. You need a big pot about this size to put your potatoes in. And I already have my potatoes pre-peeled here in this bowl. So what I'm going to do is fill my pot up with water. Alrighty guys, we have our pot filled up. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put our potatoes inside of the water and rinse them off real good. So you're going to want to dump all your potatoes into your pot. Rinse them all off. Put them all inside of there. Once you get them all inside of there, you're going to want to turn your eye on to high. And you're going to let those boil until they're tender. And what I mean by tender, you'll be able to stick a fork through them and you'll see them fall apart. Now that we got the potatoes going, now we're going to get our corn going. And I have a small saucepan that I'm going to cook the corn in. I'm just going to dump how much I think we're going to need for tonight. Fill it up with your corn. You see, we still got our Salisbury steaks still cooking. Alrighty, that's enough corn. Then we're going to put a little water in your corn. You're going to have to fill it all the way up, like right on top of the corn, not all the way covering the corn. And then we're going to add to our corn. I put black pepper and sugar in my corn. You don't necessarily have to put black pepper or sugar in your corn. The sugar gives it a more sweeter taste. The black pepper gives it a little flavor as well. Add some more black pepper to this. Then we're going to add some sugar. And we're going to sprinkle some sugar in there. Should be enough. You don't want too much sugar. You don't want it too sweet. And we're going to turn this on high. And once it starts boiling, you can turn it down to simmer for it to finish cooking while the rest of your food is cooking. And we're going to come back over here and check on these Salisbury steaks that are frying. Flip these over. Once these are finished cooking, we're going to transfer these to the plate with our other ones. And once my potatoes are done cooking and getting tender, I will show you guys what I do to mash it up to create my mashed potatoes. And once my corn's done, I'll let you guys see what the corn looks like when it's finished. These are your Salisbury steaks. Got a little bit more meat left. These on the plate already. And we're transferring them to the plate because all of them are actually in the end going to go into this one skillet. And then this will actually go inside of the oven. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alrighty guys, we got them all grilled on both sides. What we're going to do now is whatever choice that you choose on your gravy to put your Salisbury steaks in, we're going to do roasted chicken gravy over the top of ours because like I said, we don't eat pork or beef very often. Most of the time it's either chicken or turkey. So we're going to use our roasted chicken gravy today. So what we're going to do, we're going to add our water in here for the gravy that it's calling for. So that's going to be 1.5 cups of water. So we're going to do that 2 times because I'm going to do 2 packs. That way we have enough gravy to last us. Okay, 1.5. We're going to do another 1.5. Alrighty, got both of our 1.5. And we're going to bring this to a consistent boil. We're going to bring this to a boil. And then over here in our measuring cup, we're going to prepare a 1/2 cup. So we're going to need a whole cup of cool water in the measuring cup. So 1 whole cup of water. Just a little over. Okay, we've got our 1 cup. Then we're going to dump our packages into this measuring cup. And we're going to whisk this together. Like I said, we're waiting on that 3 cups of water to start boiling in this other pan. And then we're going to add this mixture to that. Get our other pack in here. Alrighty, so I'm gonna whisk this together. Alrighty, now we have this water boiling over here. We're going to pour this in and we're going to whisk this together as we're pouring it into this water. We're going to pour and whisk at the same time. Alrighty guys, that completes it for the gravy. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add our Salisbury steaks into this gravy. I'm going to turn it down on low. And you're going to drop your Salisbury steaks down into this gravy. Like so. Alrighty guys, now that we got all of those in there, we're going to stick these in the oven for about 30-45 minutes for them to continue cooking and getting the flavor all in them from the gravy. Sit that there. And this is what your corn is going to look like when it gets done. I can actually put that on low now. That's actually finished. You can finish this slow cooking until everything else is done. Now we're going to come over and we're going to check our potatoes. See if they're tender. And they actually can cook a little bit longer. So once my potatoes done, I'll be back to show you guys the finished product of the mashed potatoes. But we're going to put our Salisbury steaks in the oven, like I said, and we're going to let this cook for about 30-40 minutes so it can finish cooking all the way through and for it to get the flavor of the gravy in it. So once we get done with the potatoes cooking, I'll be back to show you guys how to mash up your potatoes. So please stay tuned. Make sure you do not miss our end results of our Tuesday night dinner. Guys, our potatoes are done cooking. We're going to drain them now. Drain all the water off of them. Alrighty, gonna bring them back over to the stove. I like to put a full stick of butter in mine. That way they're nice and moist, not dry and real thick. So I put a whole stick of butter in there. And then I put black pepper. And season them. Black pepper, a lot of black pepper, and some seasoning salt. My old famous Johnny's again. Alrighty. I'm going to take a fork, mash them up. Some people use a masher too. You can use a masher or fork. I'm just going to mush them up. Put butter down in there. That butter. Nice and moist. And then just mix them so they're nice and creamy and fluffy, just the way you like them. You can add a little milk in here too. That'll actually help soften it up, make it more creamier as well. I don't drink milk, so I don't add milk in ours. And there you have your mashed potatoes, and you keep mashing them up until you have no more clumps in them. So you guys got to see the Salisbury steaks. I'm going to show y'all the Salisbury steaks in the oven as well. And then I'll give you guys a finished plate of how it turned out. Comment down below if you would try this meal at your house. Alrighty guys, this is our finished product when it comes to our Salisbury steak and gravy. These are our mashed potatoes. And this is our corn. And I'll make sure I leave a picture of the finished plate at the end of the video. So until next time, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure you guys comment down below how you guys think the meal turned out. Until next time, peace.